Help Action Needed, a D&D podcast.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Help Action Needed, a D&D podcast. My name is Sean Hardy, and I will be our GM today. And let's introduce our players.
Hi, I'm Kate Pizarchik-Johnson, and I play Nori.
I'm Dan Johnson, and I play Cass.
I'm Julie Perez, and I play Frog.
Last time on our adventure, Nori, Cass, Frog, Seth, Alto, Archimedes, Dion, and Julian all made it up to the capital of Aelith, Paternal, where the royal wedding between Dion and Julian, who are meant to be married, but have secretly been illegally married by Nori, because they said, yo, fuck the church, we want a wedding for us, not the country, and they did that, are all going up to attend the royal wedding in 2 weeks. They didn't need to be there this early, but it was kind of like, hey, you want to walk, or do you want to get there really easy? And if you're really easy, we'll be there a little early, and they all went the easy route. No one can blame them. In terms of specifics that have happened, we went to the market and we bought a lot of fun little things. We went to the library and learned a bit more about the Fae culture and about the Crescent Isles and the Sunken Cove, as well as acquired a bunch of wood, because at the hotel we're staying in, Archimedes demanded his own bedroom, and things were a little too high for him, so the party will need to build him ramps to get in and out of bed, and in and out of the bath, and up to the doorknob. While Cass and Nori were out doing such acquisitions, Frog sat with the brothers and had a nice little bonding talk, playing some games, until the subject of Miss Amy Catonic came up. And they were like, yeah, she's normal, right? And Frog's like, no. But then she appeared and was like, hey, I can hear too. And then everyone was like, oh, why is she here? And now Nori has lots of questions for Frog. And that's where we're gonna pick up. We left off the last episode with Nori sitting cross-legged on the bed, bringing out tea to drink tea while spilling tea. And Frog, that is the scene you see as you enter into your joined bedroom.
Yeah, Frog will walk in and see Nori sitting there and gesture to sit on the bed next to her. If that's okay.
With my cup of tea in my hands, I will say, yes, Frog, please sit down, and then I'll pick up the other cup of tea and hand it to her.
Perfect. Frog will hold it with her two hands and sit crisscross as well.
So, dearest Frog, I could tell that there was something a little spicy going on in the other room with the brothers when Cass and I arrived. You don't have to tell me all the details if you don't want to, but kind of since we left Miss Catonix, things have been, again, a little spicy. Is there anything that happened that I could maybe help with, or that would be beneficial for me to know, / maybe eventually Cass, but he's in the boys' club, we're in the girls' club, so he can find out later.
Frog will hesitate and then say, well, I got myself into a little bit of a mess, and then I needed Miss Catonic's help, so I went and asked her, and she said that she would help me, but then also that I should probably help her with some things if she did that for me. And now she seems to be able to hear my thoughts wherever we are, and I can summon her kind of. So that's new.
And having sipped some of the hot tea, some of it will drip a little bit from Nori's mouth, just out of a little bit of fear of Miss Catonic, or wariness, maybe, not necessarily fear. And Nori will take a big gulp and say, oh, okay. So, earlier, were you chatting with the brothers and something happened with Miss Catonic there when she was in, your brain?
Yeah, she was in my brain, but then she was also there. I said, hey, Miss Catonic, can you hear me? And she was yeah, I can hear you. And then she came into the room and then talked to the brothers.
Um, in that, Nori's facial expressions will just be um so shell-shocked of being like, she physically appeared in front of you on her face. But instead Nori will say, "Oh, wow, well, that's a unique connection. But maybe if we really get screwed the butthole in some manner, she can come and help us, right?" So like positive
Yeah.
connection. And you said you did something. Are you okay? Do you want to talk about
Also,
it?
I'll say Frog, as Nori says, maybe she'll come and help us. I think that would resonate a lot with what happens if you need her help in a not her involved problem. Whether or not you want to tell.
Yes. Frog's just gonna let that go and be like, yeah, maybe. I'm sorry, what was the question that Nori asked? Oh, what happened to me? Am I okay? Got it. Frog does not want to tell you about what happened because she cannot risk the princes knowing. So she's just gonna be like, yeah, I'm fine. It was just a weird little mishap, and it's all good now.
Okay. Well, know that I'm in your corner. If you need anything, we'll have a secret code word. It will be Periwinkle. And so if something happens and you need help because of whatever this problem is, even though I don't know, I will cover for you. It will just be Periwinkle. Figure out how to throw that into a conversation. It will be perfect. But thanks for having this tea with me. And I'm sorry that you got into some trouble, but I'm here in case you need anything. And I will finish sipping my tea and put it on the bedstand because we totally have a side table. That's what I meant to say. And I will get ready for bed.
The frog will kind of like whisper Periwinkle with like her eyebrows a little confused on where you came up with that, and we'll get up and head over to her side of the room.
Nice. Yeah. Cass, other than staying in your room with the intention of not being bothered by anyone until well late into the morning, is there anything you do before going to bed that night?
Yeah, I'm going to, again, just sort of go over my notes, trying to wrap my head around exactly what the connection is between the Crescent Isles and the Sunken Grove, and just try to sort of further cement that information into my head. Sort of researched a lot today, so just try to commit it to memory to a certain extent, and then I'm going to try to go to sleep and probably toss and turn for a good 30 minutes to an hour or so before I pop Quizzle back into existence, and I send him out my window to go sit outside of Frog King's window. And I'm just going to periodically switch spots with him, making sure he's not doing something that is going to get us in trouble in the room by himself.
Yes. You would have seen with Quizzle that when, like, the first time you were there, still wrapped up the way that Frog kind of put him in a blanket prison. That Archimedes is wrapped very tightly in blankets that he has no way of getting out of. If he wanted to, he could, like, move up onto the pillow and then hop around. But he seems very content trapped in his blanket fort because he seems to be sleeping soundly. Whether or not he's going to stay asleep might be why you check every half hour or so, but when Quizzle looks at for the first couple of times, for sure, he is sound asleep, wrapped very tightly in blankets.
Alright, and I'd probably just, like, if I wake up in the night, do that, with the intention of, I plan to wake up early in the morning to be awake before everyone, but we'll see how that goes.
Okay. Yeah. Then the night passes. Anyone doing anything weird in the night? Anyone trying to wake up before others for a certain reason? Or do we think Cass is the first one up and about? Okay. Seems like the night is yours, Cass. Well, the morning is yours, I suppose.
All right. Sort of not sleeping the best, but not the worst. Just keeping an eye on the Frog King. I'm going to use. Sorry, give me 1 second. What is it called? Bottled Respite, and I'm going to
Okay.
on the nightstand next to my bed because that definitely exists. I'm going to have my genie vessel appear, and I'm going to, or I guess it's just the lantern, so it'll just sit there, and then I'm going to poof into it.
Okay.
And I'm going to, once in there, just sort of, again, go over the key things that I know about my related tasks for a little bit before sitting down, thinking about sort of the big picture of what's going on with the princes and all of the moving pieces, and then try to sort of just see if my patron has anything to say or if he needs anything, just because it's been a hot second and I haven't heard from them technically.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
that'd be
so
it. So
when you go in, it's still very much like the same way it was last time you were here with the very light shade of blue, and the one that's more friendly, kind of like not resting, but just hovering in the water. Very much not stasis-like, but in a sense of like until it needs to be called on, it's there. So if you come in and you want to call upon it, you're able to request anything you need, but while the beacon at the Crescent Isles remains lit, it has the strength it needs to kind of like keep itself in focus and in existence.
okay, I was about to say, it's like if it's content, I'm not going to bother it, just because as much as I want to focus on my stuff, there's other items that are sort of pertinent at this point in time. So I'll just go, I'm assuming that it's sort of like a mirror type thing where it's like he would pop up to talk and commune type thing. So I'll just go put my hand on it, just make sure I still feel his presence there. And then after that, I would just sort of close my eyes, snap back to existence, and probably just lounge around for the rest of the morning until I relax, until someone comes knocking, whoever that may be.
Nice. I think the brothers are much more early risers than Frog or Nori. So I think they would probably come down and find you first. The breakfast place of the hotel is like a full, whatever you want, all you can eat, full expense paid because of the price of the night. So when you go down, you'd see like they've already got that set up, and when the brothers come down, you see Seth especially just goes for the pastry plates and starts taking a bunch of like little like they're like not like the pastries you got in Alara where they're like full like could be a meal. They're like tiny little like one bite pastries. So you see him gathering up a bunch of the fruit ones, and then they both get like some steaks and some eggs and some hash browns and such, a fantasy equivalent of whatever those would be. And Alto just has like a nice like balanced, healthy for a morning thing. Steph has the same thing, but also with little pastries with berries and such on them.
All right, I'll go down and eat with them, just sort of touch base, because last time we talked, not negative, but they definitely brought up some good points about our disjointed group, and just sort of talk with Alto a little bit and make sure that they're comfortable being here. Also, while taking out the cookbook that I believe Frog gave me.
Yeah.
Right? And I'll just have anything that I like that I'm eating here, I'll sort of take notes and just be like, oh, like this was good. I enjoyed this, just sort of thing, just to keep a record of it. So when I eventually get good at cooking, probably never, it'll be a little reference.
Nice. And is there anything that you think Cass would really enjoy that you can put in there?
I think the type of like steak and eggs, depending on how they're cooked, just because, again, sort of like a homely type of breakfast, something that he probably would have had as more of a luxury meal when he was growing up, but probably just those. I'd probably also grab a handful
Nice.
of pastries and put them on my plate, and just as soon as Seth is finished with his, just slide them over, knowing that he wasn't going to grab enough to fill himself, but just sort of help him.
Very kind. Do you think the girls' club, as Kate called it, would be going down? And are you grabbing Archimedes, or are you leaving him in his blanket prison?
Yeah, as soon as Frog wakes up, she's gonna get ready for the day and then head to Archimedes' room, crossing her fingers that he is still in his little burrito, and not causing destruction within his room. So she'll knock and then open up the door.
Yeah, when you go in, he is still sleeping in his his little burrito.
Burrito.
Yeah, and he's just wrapped up in there. But when you go in, he goes, "Oh, Miss Frog, it is quite warm. I don't have arms, and I couldn't push the blankets, but they're very soft. But they are also very warm, and I am still sleepy because it is nice. Are you here to release me from the cage you put me in?"
Yes, I am here to release you. And she'll pick him up and unwrap his blankets and then set him on the floor.
Nice.
Alright.
Do you have my ramps? You all said you would make ramps in the morning?
We did. It is still very morning. It is not afternoon yet, so it is still morning. We will get to that. But first, we're gonna go downstairs and have some breakfast.
Oh, do you think that they have prepared frog delicacies?
Yes.
I'm going to hold you to
Being-
that, and then he hops out the door.
Being the pastries, because he likes pastries, so.
He does like pastries. Nice. And Nori, what are you up to?
In our room, I will make some grounded Patronel coffee grounds, and then bring them downstairs. And is this like in the open area where Seamus could potentially see us? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I will I will try and brew like a big batch of coffee for everyone, and just like a little bit maybe too loud for the comfort of everyone, say, "If you would all like some coffee, I will gladly make a fresh cup for you all. Here it is in the open, where everyone can see that I, additionally Nori, will take a drink of it." So once it's done brewing, I'll pour myself a cup and go sit down at the table and take some of the pastries as well.
Yeah, so as you walk into the lobby and make this proclamation, you see like the eyes of everyone at the pre-made like drinks table look over at you, wondering why you're proclaiming that you will start making everyone fresh coffee when on a table there's juices and teas and coffees and like espressos, all like public domain on a table for anyone to take. But Seamus from behind the reception desk will look over. "Hey, do you think that you're too good for ours? Do you think that ours isn't good enough, and therefore you need to proclaim to the world that you're better? What's the stunt here?"
The stunt is so that way you will accept a cup of my coffee. I just want to be kind and do something as a favor for you because you work so hard keeping this kept very well. So no, I'm not trying. And I'll take my coffee away and I'll go run it upstairs and lock it in our room.
Okay. Not Nori's. How do you respond to that?
Frog is just gonna like stare up at the stairs, being like, do you think she's coming back? And then turn back to Archimedes and make sure that he's getting his breakfast in a not horrible manner.
Nori, could I get a clarification really quick? When you say you run upstairs, is it like stomping mad, or is it like pitter patter, like little soft footsteps from a small person going up the stairs?
little pitter patter. It's not stomping. It's more out of like embarrassment, so to speak, rather than anger.
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch this unfold, sort of smile and like laugh a little bit to myself and be like, just sort of wait for you to come back down.
All right. After rooting upstairs for a couple minutes, I will come back downstairs and sit down with my cup of coffee and continue to eat some of the delicacies on the table.
There's a whole spread. Frog, with your concern about Archimedes doing it in a civil way, they're small enough that it's not like he needs to get like his weird froggy gumminess with it. Like you can cut them into small quarters and he can eat like quarters of the pastries one at a time without feeling like he's being belittled or pampered to, what the case actually be not. And then he says, Miss Frog still says that you all are building me my ramps, so I believe that should be our next cause of situation. Because I needed Miss Frog to get me out of my bed this morning, and I want to not have that tomorrow, please.
Okay.
Yes. Of course, Archimedes, that will be our top priority. And Nori will just keep steaming over her cup of coffee.
Frog will finish her breakfast and then head upstairs to Archimedes' room, where do we leave the wood in there? Or is it still in the bag?
The wood is in the bag of holding in Nori's bag. In your room.
Okay. I thought for some reason we took it out. Oh no. Okay, never mind. Yeah, then before going upstairs, Frog will ask Nori if she could get the wood.
Of course. And you know what, Frog? Do you want help? I'll gladly help you.
Yes, that would be lovely, because
Perfect.
she'll then, like, whisper to Nori, because I don't think that Archimedes is gonna be the biggest help.
Of course. I got you. I'll chug down the rest of my coffee, gently put it down on the table, and say, "Are you ready?"
Yes, and then Frog will just start heading upstairs.
Not to be rude, but do either of you have carpentry skills?
We have
charisma. We have some smarts. We're wise, and I'm super strong. So we're fine. We'll figure it out.
We did build
just
the
a
tree
quick-
house.
Just a quick correction, Nori. I'm a warlock. I have charisma. Just throwing it out there. You have just brute strength. But anyway, and I'll follow you guys. Willing to assist.
I only ask because we've been maintaining things for years, and the three of you kind of give the energy you've never built something by hand. So if you need assistance, we don't want to take this away from you, but we would gladly aid.
Frog is going to be slightly offended because they did build the tree house and also helped fix up Cass's house, but then be like, we could probably use the help anyway.
No, if you don't want it, we're just trying to be helpful since we're here.
We would love the help. Don't. Please just come.
Also, you should probably bring everything down so we can go outside and build it, so you're not making a ruckus in a room where other people might be spending their time.
Maybe.
No, not maybe. We should do that. We should not build in our rooms. And with that, I'm just gonna go outside and see if there's anywhere that would make sense for us to build, because I'm assuming us building ramps in the middle of a street would probably draw much attention, which we are not supposed to be doing.
Yeah. There are, like, you've seen, like, there are alleyways, there are alcoves and stuff, and there's, like, just, like, small gathering spaces that people could, like, sit down and have, like, an outdoor drink or snack together in. So any of those would be, like, suitable for meeting up and just building and then going back in. They're not far from the hotel if you wanted to like go a bit distance, or you could just go right out front and start building them there.
I'll just go map out a little spot outside of the main thoroughway and just wait for them to come out. Also, while they're sort of gathering their stuff, I'm going to use my ring that I forgot about, but Nori then told me about again, and just give a quick call to Dion.
Okay.
Just
what do you say?
Quick. Good morning. Hope everything is going well. Is there anything you need from us today?
No, nothing today. We're just kind of getting situated here. We have a whole calendar of events that we need to attend to and be public in. If you want to find something just for us to do later, something that's just not boring would be fun. But no, nothing important or in need of others. You can tell that he's already tired of this tour that started this morning.
I'll just make note of that and make sure to relay that information to the group when they get here.
Nice. So Nora, you're able to bring your bag of holding down to the little alcove Cass found. The five of you can start making Archimedes his, I guess they are technically accessibility ramps.
Mm-hmm.
I will take out the wood planks and then also take out like a little saw that I got from the shop as well and say, here are the things. What can we do? And hammer and nails.
Did you take measurements?
No. I just figured we could like eye it, you know, like that thumb thing that you humans do, and you like hold your thumb up to like the bed and you're like, all right, it's like this big, and then you just kind of like wing it. I figured we could do that.
I mean, that is, one, it is a great way to waste material, but two, that's when you're near the object. Do you see the bed near us?
Ooh, sensing some sarcasm this morning. No, the bed is not near.
We just, I just want to help you achieve the best way you can, and I really feel like this is one of the things that you all are able to get a lot done by sheer belief in yourselves. This is an average, everyday person activity. That's not how it works. So if you can make them, and I'm sure they'll be functional, but if you want them to be good, there's just steps you have to take.
Frog,
Okay.
why don't... Sorry.
No,
See
go ahead,
that
Cass.
comes- Frog, why don't you go back upstairs with Seth and Alto, and maybe take Frog King with you, just as a point of reference, of course. Not that I don't want him left down here. And why don't you guys go get measurements, and I'll wait down here with Nori and just get everything prepped up and ready to go for when you get back. Because I agree with them. It's like, I'd prefer to do this once and not have to have this take up a majority of our day.
Frog will say fine, and then get Frog King and start heading upstairs with Seth and Alto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and once you start doing things in the actual functional way, it only takes you like an hour to get like one that'll go right up to the height of the bed, one that'll go right up to the height of the door, one that'll go right up to the height of the bath, and like you're able to get them all done, carried up. You get a couple weird looks from Seamus as you carry large wooden ramps up the stairs. And Nori, before you ask, they are too large to shove in your bag of holding. You cannot fit these in a bag of holding. So you do need to carry large wooden ramps up the stairs. But then Archimedes' room is all set up for Archimedes to live his little Archimedes life.
Good job, Archimedes.
Ooh.
And while they're doing, getting all of the ramps upstairs, I'm assuming there's like a a hunting / like bait shop for some nearby lake in town, yeah? I'm
Yeah.
gonna go get a whole bunch of bait. Something that Frog King would probably enjoy eating. So I'm assuming he still eats bugs, yes, Frog?
Yeah. He might
Yeah.
prefer pastries, but he'll still eat bugs.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go get a bunch of those just so... Because I'm assuming he's coming with us. If he ever gets hungry, we'll just have a bunch on hand that we can sort of just entice him with to keep him moving forward if needed.
I hate the idea of you just having like a bag of like worms and crickets and shit inside your bag.
Oh, I'm shoving them right to Nori when I get back and be like, can you just put this in the bag of holding really quick?
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I do know that will kill all the bugs, Sean. That is absolutely fine.
He
That's
can eat
fine.
dead bugs.
Yeah. Yeah, then you all are able to get all of that done, any prep work you want. And then I imagine you all want to make your way towards that temple, unless you want to do that later, but that was what you had talked about doing last time.
Cass, did you tell us about your message to Dion?
I said as soon as you guys came down, I'd relay the information.
Did you tell us what he said?
That is exactly what I just said. I told you.
Oh, okay, sorry. That was my brain not interpreting the information correctly, but maybe we should ask Dion and Julian if they want to tag along, since Dion, kind of said that they had things, or they would want something to do afterwards, but it is like a couple days that they're gonna be gone. But I mean, we can ask. Frog, why don't you ask Julian?
Tread carefully. Just because, again, they are here on official business, so as much as I think it would be good for them to get out, I don't know if we want to interfere too much. This may be something where when we get back, or we at least let them know we're leaving, but when we get back, we may try to find something in town that they can do with us to step away.
Yeah, I
But
feel
with
like
that,
makes more sense.
Cass... Yep, sorry. But with that, Cass will just sort of lean back and follow your guys' lead if you guys are talking to them and then heading up to the temple.
Frog will send a message to Julian with her ring and let him know we're heading up to, or I don't know, not up, probably, I don't know which way we're going. Heading to the temple.
The temple's to the west.
Okay. Well, we're heading to the temple. If you guys wanted to come with us, that would be great, but we understand you're probably busy, so we can catch up with you when we get back and do something fun to hang out then.
Yeah, like, we can't really leave the city, right? I mean, it's not like we're being held here against our will, but like we kind of are because there's this whole press tour thing. But it's also a whole day of people telling us that we are very pretty and we look beautiful together and that we're wonderful and that we're the best. So, like, that's going to be nice. If we have to be here, at least we get to be here with people telling us that we're amazing. So, I don't know. If it's fun, let us know. If you need us, like, I don't know how we can get there, but don't die. Or I guess if you do die, thank you for telling us where you're going so we can send someone to fetch your bodies.
Right. Frog will share that information with everybody else.
Just Frog sharing. He says if we're dead, they'll fetch our bodies. It's just very funny to me. Okay. Nice.
Did you message Julian, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that tracks. That makes sense.
All right. Well, looks like we're on our own, which is totally fine. So, let's go.
You all head out the western gate of the city. It takes a bit of time to find it because it's not it's not the main gate to the north or the main gate to the south. But there is an external gate to the east and west, and you head westward. This is just full untreaded mountaintop. It's not a full path like you all have been traveling for a long time. It's not really something that's been like manicured. It's not really something that anyone treks anymore. So this is like one of the first true forays into like untreaded territory for you all as a group. Whether or not you've done it before is possible, but for you all as a group, this is one of your first things. And can I just get a dexterity check from each of you to check your footing as you're walking sideways on a hill.
$11.
Okay.
10.
Okay.
21.
Okay. All you needed was a 10. So, Cass, you do a good job of just like leading the pack, knowing how to take a step, knowing what you're doing, while the other two are slowly following behind with like terrible footwork, stepping on rocks that are setting them out of place. You're not at a spot that would be like unsafe. Like you're not way up and you're not on like the sheer cliff or anything. But like as you step, you're just knocking rocks out of place and your footing is a little uneven. Did you all
Are the
brothers are doing perfectly fine.
Okay, I was wondering if they were coming with us. Okay.
Did you all try and convince Archimedes to stay behind, or do you think you took him with?
I mean, this is like not weather for a frog. So
Also,
I would
Julia
hope
muted.
that we tried to convince him to stay behind.
Yeah. I guess, but also I feel like he's gonna wreak havoc if we leave him behind. So, maybe I just gave him some strong words to be on his best behavior, not for us, but for Dion and Julian as respected nobles, and he should understand because he is a respected noble that he needs to make sure that he does his best.
Oh yes, I will not bring dishonor to the name of the frog people.
Perfect.
And this lets me, Sean, have fun with the 4 days you all are away from Archimedes. But that's for the future, as you all make your way out. So then, in this case, it'll just be the three of you and Seth and Alta who are navigating perfectly fine. Yeah. What are you all doing? What are you talking about? What are you thinking? What are you feeling as... Like, you've gotten very good at adventuring, you've gotten very good at peopling, you've gotten very good at, like, problem management. This is just survive. What do you think you all would be doing?
I think Nori would be taking out my silver pine cone and hanging out with it and probably trying to talk with Titania maybe like once or twice throughout it's 2 days there and 2 days back, correct? It's not 4 days there and 4 days back?
2 days there, 2 days back, yeah.
Okay. Maybe during like just the one night that I guess we'll be staying. The one night that we'll be staying outside of the temple, I'll try and maybe like commune with her or not, or something along those lines, but just taking in nature and really just trying to keep an eye out for anything strange or odd, just in case.
Yeah, and it's not hard to keep an eye out for anything strange or odd because it's so barren up here. There's not tree lines and bushes for things to like hide in. There are bushes, but they're like little bramble bushes just like by themselves in isolation, not really fully there. And I think the first thing that you would see catching your eye is there's about 10 little chicken-looking things that seem to be watching you from a ridge higher up than you all are. They have like they look like chickens, except instead of wings, they have like bat wings with like little sharp talons, and they have like scorpion-esque tails. They're not doing anything, but you see them watching you from a ridge above you.
Are we heading towards the ridge, or is the ridge just like on our side as we're passing by it, so to speak?
The second one.
I'll probably like find my way to Seth and Alto and just mention it to them, and say if you wouldn't mind helping me just keep an eye out on those cute little chicken bat things up there. Chaps, if you want to chaps. Anyway, I'll workshop the name later. If you just want to help me keep an eye on those, that would be great, and I'll continue to try and be aware of other things that are around us as well.
the brothers are gonna both make... Ooh, that was a very clear, little Luke. The brothers are going to both... each one of them is gonna make a nature check to see if they can recognize what these things are. Okay, Seth gets them. Alto got a 2, Seth got a 15. So, Frog, you hear in your head, like, hey, you might want to tell Nori it's a better idea if we stop and kill them now than if we just watch them. Those things, they're called cockatrices, and if we wait and try and make camp, they're going to follow us later and probably try and kill us in our sleep. So, they're really easy to kill now, won't be easy to kill when we're turning to stone.
Yeah, okay. And then Frog will turn to Nori and say, we should kill those guys now so we don't die tonight. Just an FYI.
Nice, great, okay, cool. Hey, Cass! And as she's saying that, how far are they from where
They're
we're at
about
right now?
60 feet above you.
Oh, poop heads. Okay, I will attempt to... maybe try Moonbeam? But I don't know if I can do Moonbeam. No, are we not, like, just trying to annihilate them?
No, yes, that's a good
I
call.
mean, that's a good idea. Yeah. That's kind of what Seth was advising. It's like, hey, get them out of here before anything happens.
Okay, perfect. The range is 120 feet. So,
Okay.
I will have... Yes. I will try and have the moonbeam appear like right in the center of them, or wherever I can have the most impact to the...
Yeah, there's 10 of them in a line, so you can hit 2 of them, because like your movie would be able to hit 2 at a time.
Sure. Okay. I'll hit 2 of them then.
Cool. Yeah, what, a wisdom save from each of them, right? Moonbeam?
Constitution saving throw.
Okay. That's a 10 and a 7. I know both of those fail.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll your damage, and then everyone roll initiative.
Yay.
God bless America. I'll just roll that first. My initiative is 17.
Okay.
Wow, mine too.
Yay! Okay.
Go, Seth.
Ooh. Okay.
13.
You got a 23.
Damn. I cast it at 3rd level, and so it is 17 damage.
Okay, that is not enough to take them out, so I will put them in the initiative. And the birds are all going to act on the same initiative, which is also a 17. Frog, what is your dex modifier? And Nori, what is your dex modifier? No, actually, they have a +1, so that is an 18 for them. So they'll go after Seth, but before the 2 of you. I forgot to add their dex to the die roll. Birds.
So you still need ours, though?
No, because you 2 can choose which order you want to go in.
Okay.
Also, would all of us get, I mean, aside from myself, get an attack of opportunity or whatever before actual initiative goes into play?
No. Like, they're not surprised by you. You're not getting a surprise round or anything. The only reason they're not fighting was because they were going to wait to kill you in your sleep, and you chose violence, so now they're springing into violence.
Okay.
It's not like you all had if you had all talked about a strong plan of attack before firing off Moonbeam, maybe you all could have done something collaborative and at the same time, but you just went, I'm gonna fire a Moonbeam.
Fair.
So no, you do not all get around. Seth goes first, and Seth does not have anything he can really do because he can't leave his brother's side, and these things are 60 feet up. And I mean, he could throw his sword, but he's not going to throw his sword. So yeah, he's just going to go stand in front of Frog in a defensive stance. He's putting like his greatsword like in front of him, so that if anything comes for Frog, it would have to get through him first. Essentially, Frog giving you half cover, which is nice because now it's going to be all of our bird friends.
Yeah.
2 of them are going to go for each of you. Actually, no. These things are smart enough. I mean, they're not smart at all, but they're smart enough to go, hey, that one's the mean one. They don't have plans of strategy. So actually, Nori, all of them are going to go for you, because you're the one that put off a moonbeam. We're going to do these one at a time. Does a 21 hit?
Yes.
Okay. Take 5 points of piercing damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Nat 20.
Okay, you are fine. Does I don't think a 13 hits.
No.
That doesn't hit. That doesn't hit. That doesn't hit. That doesn't hit. That one's a nat 20. So can you take 10 points of piercing damage and also make that con save again?
Sorry. This time it is an 18.
You're still fine. That doesn't hit. That's another nat 20, another 10 points of piercing damage, and another con save, please.
Ooh, phew. 19. Rolling well.
Okay. And then last one, does a 17 hit?
No.
Okay, then yeah, so 3 out of 10 hit, but 10 of these little cockatrices all jump down, swooping down onto Nori, all of them pecking at her with their like beaks that when they open up, they have like strangely sharp, like animalistic teeth inside of their beaks. And they start swarming Nori. Nori and Frog, it's your turn.
Nora, you can go first.
Okay.
Unless you want me to.
No, I'll gladly go. For my moonbeam, does it automatically just get to move on my action, or does it then
use your bonus action to move it?
Oh, buttface. Okay. Well, my moonbeam's just gonna hang out where it's at. For my bonus action, I'm going to cast my spiritual weapon at 4th level.
Okay.
And I will...
Oh, actually, I lied to you. It's your action. You can use your action to move your moonbeam.
Okay. I'm still gonna try and use my spiritual weapon. No. Ugh. I hate everything. Because with my spiritual weapon, in theory, I could only hit one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you wanted to put the moonbeam on yourself, you could hit all 10 of them because they are all flying on you.
Yeah. I will still use my bonus action to cast spiritual weapon.
Okay.
And then I will move the moonbeam to the center of myself and try and hit all of the stupid birds.
Okay. Cool. So, can you and all of them make a con saving throw, please? Let's see how these little friends do. Fail. Fail. Oh, what's your spell save DC?
17.
Okay. Fail. 1 pass. Fail. Fail. Fail, fail. Fail. No. 1 bird succeeds. The clear leader bird, who is the clear defined leader of all of the cockatrices, succeeds, and the other 9 all take the full damage. How did you do?
I got an 18.
Okay, so you'll take half of your damage as well.
This time it was 20.
Okay. The 2 that had prior been hit, fully dead. The rest of them looking really, really bad. And then the one that survived, looking decent. Looking fine. Looking okay. Do you want to use your spiritual weapon on any of them?
I thought I had to use an action to...
Oh, you summon it as a bonus action, and you can immediately make an attack, and then you can use a bonus action every time going forward.
fucking decent cleric. Okay, anyway. Yes, having noted that the leader bird was able to save himself, so to speak, from my moonbeam, I will attack that little butthead.
Yep.
Oh.
AC is only 11.
Okay. Well, I got a 19, so I'm sure that hits.
Yes, because
and
it's higher than 11.
I can do that. Third level increases any above the second. Okay. Well, that's nice. Okay. 9 plus 5, 14, plus 7 is 21, plus my skull passing amount, which is 6. So 27, if I did the math correctly.
Yep, that is enough to straight up kill this cockatrice down to the ground.
Oh, you'll just hear Nori scream in rage and look towards Frog and say, "Finish them!"
Looking at where they are, I want to use Burning Hands, but aim so that I am not hitting Nori. Are they all too close to her? Or...
They are swarming Nori. There's no way to not
Right.
hit Nori if you're attacking the birds.
Even if I move it to just hit half of them?
They are essentially sharing her space.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
That's annoying. I guess I will... I don't know, should I risk it for the biscuit? Nori's pretty tanky.
Nori is pretty tanky.
I'm just gonna risk it for the biscuit. Okay. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Cool.
The dex save is 15.
Okay. And Nori, go ahead and do yours. Julie, pre-roll your damage because it's going to take damage regardless.
Yeah, by the way, I'm upcasting it. Third
Okay,
level.
nice. And what was your spell save? 19?
No, 15.
15. Okay, then that is so far 3 successes.
16. So.
4 successes.
Oh, no.
7. 8.
How many
9.
of the birds are left?
There are 9 birds, 8 of whom succeeded their dex save.
Right, but how many
Okay.
did my moonbeam take out?
No. I think the 2. Like, it took out the 2. But then, and
Okay.
so 3 of the total are dead. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought, yeah. So. But I have a feeling Frog is about to finish all of them unless she rolls extremely low on this attack.
It was a 22.
Yeah.
22
They only had 7 health left, so even on their successes, that brings it down to an 11. What's it look like as you engulf Nori and fried chickens?
Frog will reach out and cast Burning Hands and, cross her fingers, essentially, except not actually, because that would probably not help. And hope that Nori is okay, and then once she finishes, she's gonna look and be like, "Yay!" As all the little fried chickens fall down.
You hear in your head, I guess I didn't need to protect you after all. You got a lot going on there.
Oh, it's possible.
With that, I will run up to Frog and give her a high five, jump and high five, and attempt to hopefully be agile enough to hit her hand at the correct time. And also cast some healing on myself because I got a little bit of damage there.
Good plan. Alto is going to walk over to you, Cass, and be like, "Yeah, do you know how to prepare these? If we take out the venom, we should be able to eat them pretty good."
This whole time, Nori, like you sort of like said my name, but like I was ahead of you guys. I didn't hear you all. So I just turn around to you and Frog blowing up. I would call either Cass or Bickens at this point. And I'm just gonna tap my chest and cast Mage Armor and then look to Alto and be like, I'm sure we can figure something out, and just start grabbing them by their like legs. Like try to grab a few with each hand and bring them with.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're small. They're the size of a chicken. Easy enough to, like, cut up and move on. And he's like, yeah, I mean, they taste good, I imagine. We just gotta take out the poison so that we don't all poison ourselves. But it seems like you got it together, but it's good that we're all... Good that we can be some escort muscle if we need, because it looks like the mountain pass is not going to be our friend. I'm glad no one got hurt, and then looks at Nori. Glad no one got too hurt.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. Just like a little bit of blood coming from my nose. And just continue trekking on.
Could Nori use some extra healing?
Yeah, maybe like a little bit of help. Just in
Okay.
case we happen to encounter anything else on the way.
Yeah. Okay. Frog will help you out there with some Sacred Flame. Nope, that's
Sacred
not the right
Flame
one.
is not a healing spell.
No, that's not what I'm looking for. That was the one that I'm looking for.
Hey, Nori, you want some health? Sacred Flame!
Yeah, no, that's not what I was looking for. Where's the one I'm looking for? My character. Oh, Healing Light. That's what I'm looking for.
That sounds better.
Okay.
Frog, what does it look like as you, knowingly or unknowingly, channel the powers of Amy Katonic to heal Nori?
This being the first time that Frog has experienced this, she's gonna be a little bit reserved and not sure of what she's doing exactly, and then be like, whoa, at the end, and then kind of file that away for later, and to be like, what have I gotten myself into?
You hear in your head, Nori did ask if I would help you all when needed. I thought it was a nice way to give you aid.
Yeah, that is. Thank you very much.
So many voices only in Frog's head.
Yeah, it's true. It really is. Alright. That didn't do too much for you. 5.
That's still something.
Yeah.
Nice. And Cass, I think you being a warlock, you would know enough about how pact magic works that this does not feel like Frog's spell casting. Like, it wasn't a spell being cast, but you're like, this is not bard healing. I don't know, you wouldn't know exactly what it is, but you would know it's not bardic healing. It's something more attuned to what your magic feels like.
Can I do an insight check just to see if I can truly recognize it?
Sure. We'll make it... Yeah, insight works. Frog, go ahead and do your... Just make a straight charisma check and add 10 from Amy.
Okay.
It's a 7. You don't.
That's
need
a lot. Oh, that's unfortunate. I got a 13, so it would have been a 20.
If you got a 13, it would have been a 23.
Oh, I thought you said plus 7. Dan said 7, and I mixed them up.
Wow. Yeah, no, so, you can't recognize exactly what it is, but Frog is channeling something here that's not innate to Frog. And you definitely get that read from this little healing sigil Frog has created.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep note of it and just sort of keep moving forward. But as I start walking, I'm just gonna walk backwards, like when you're leading a hike type thing, and look at Nori and be like, "Hey, next time can we discuss before you decide to blow up chickens on the mountainside?"
Okay, so I'm like workshopping a name. I know Self and Alto mentioned that there's like some name to them, but they're like chickens and bats. We could do chats. We could do bickens. We could do. What do you think? We need a workshop.
Nori, I
Works-
literally said Bickens not even 5 minutes ago.
Oh. I mean, I guess we could call them bickens.
I mean, or we could call them, and I'll look at Seth and Alto be like, what are they called again?
And Alta will pipe up. They're called cockatrices, and in Nori's defense, my brother did tell Frog if we don't kill them before they follow us, they will kill us in our sleep. So, like, maybe the full frontal single-person attack wasn't the best idea, but it was a good idea to get them before they came for us.
Oh, thank you for the heads up. And I'll look back to Nori and be like, Bickens it is.
And then Nori will hop off and just be singing, Bickens, Bickens, we killed some Bickens.
Okay. Yeah. And then the rest of the day, you see lots of things popping up here and there. Small little creatures. Nothing that you all would need to take the effort to fully dispose of. If anything that's close to you and it seems dangerous, one of the 5 of you is able to take it out in a single blow. But it is creating probably a bit of an unsettling environment as just a bunch of stuff seems to be up here that has not been taken out. A bunch of monsters are around. A bunch of things that have not been present in the southern plains of the country are here. And a lot of things that seem to have effects that impact people, either through paralysis or restraint or turning to stone. A lot of things up here that don't seem that deadly on their own, but if they all worked together could cause quite a problem for anyone caught unawares. Knowing that, anything you'd all want to do before you make camp for the night?
Yeah, probably. But, let me make sure I am not going out of my depth with an idea. Would the brothers be wanting to do anything?
They're willing to stay up and keep watch, but they don't. The best that they can do is be awake and hit something with the sword. So they're willing. They're going to support any plans you all make, but they're not they can help you set up strategy if you wanted to do traps. They could help you build traps and stuff, but they don't just magically have anti-cockatrice levels or anything. So the best that they can do is be a lookout.
Well, I will cast
Similar to the Shadow Cats.
Lee Moon's tiny hut for us then, and we can all climb inside of the hut and be protected for the night. Though I will still suggest that maybe we keep watches just in case, so that we're aware of potential things on the outside. But I will have the tiny hut for us.
Nice. Yeah. Lovely. Then you cast Leomone's tiny hut and are able to safely drift off into the night. I think that's where we will wrap up for today. As the camera pans out and you don't see, but the audience sees a large cat lion-like creature surrounding your hut that isn't able to find any way in, so walks off for now. But I'm sure that won't be a problem for anyone. Thank you, audience, for listening. Thank you, players, for playing. If you want to find us all across the internet, you can. You can find us in places and things at Help Action Needed, as well as emailing us at helpactionneeded@gmail.com. It is always very fun when we get to hear from you, and we appreciate it immensely. Also, the thing that we should say, but I don't do because I forget about it, you can tell us you like the show by liking it, or giving it stars, or giving reviews. That's stuff you all can do without needing to contact us in any way. Some of you have, and that's amazing, and thank you so much for it. If you haven't, maybe consider doing so. Or don't. We really don't care about numbers here, but hey, if you wanted to reach out in a way, that's a really easy way to do it. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, listeners, for listening, and as always, goodbye!